this is a tyranny that is cruel and that has produced not only suffering to the Venezuelan people, but from Venezuela is looking for exporting this criminal structure and destabilizing other countries in the region. So we are pretty clear that Maduro doesn't have all those freedoms of action, because there are huge interests, criminal interests, that want to make him stay in order to keep on benefiting from Venezuelan resources at the cost of hunger of our population. But finally, we find that from within these Venezuelan institutions, the Venezuelan people, and the forces from abroad have articulated to pressure to this point in which the cost for Maduro of staying in power will be higher than the cost of going.
From your point of view, if a foreign intervention, if an American intervention will be in the country to force Maduro to step down, this is something acceptable or no?
Look, I think that the word intervention is not acceptable, because there is already an intervention in Venezuela. I am talking that over 40,000 Cuban agents are acting around our country. Many of them infiltrated in our armed forces as a system of espionage to block or to prevent or to threaten any Venezuelan soldier or official from doing what their conscience and constitution states they should do. There are armed groups of the Colombian guerrilla, ELN and FARC, that, sponsored by the regime, have taken over more than 50% of Venezuelan territory. I can show you in the map. Areas that are totally under the control of these criminal groups. I'm saying this because there is an intervention right now, armed intervention right now, promoted by that regime. So what is our request to the international community? And not only to the countries of this hemisphere, also to the EU and other and countries around the world. We need your support to stop a silent genocide that's taking place in Venezuela.
If I'm getting you well, any support, any help, any kind of intervention from the international community is welcome.
What we are saying is we need a peace mission, and it's totally different from what you are saying.
Mm-hmm.
You should know that the United Nations on September 2005 approved a resolution that states a principle, the responsibility to protect. And through this principle, these nations have the obligation to prevent genocide from taking place. We not only do not want violence, we are fighting against violence. We are risking our lives, our families, everything we have to stop violence from taking place in Venezuela. Let me be very clear with this answer. Number one, there's a huge difference between these moments in the Middle East and Venezuela, in the sense that in our country, we do not have, fortunately, a religious, racial, or cultural division among our people. That is not true. Chavez wanted to provoke it, but he was not successful in doing it. Number two, we have a history of democracy for several decades in which mistakes were made, certainly. But we, as a society, learn to live in a democratic system in which opportunities were open to all. And that's profoundly stated in our conscious and our culture, citizen culture. Number 3, this process that's taken place, it's the leadership of this process is Venezuelan. It's a citizen movement. We, as politicians, have a responsibility that I do not avoid, but this is a citizen movement of the Venezuelan people. We're not tutored by any other government around the world. And we certainly are looking forward in the future in order to transform Venezuela from these ruins to a growing society, to have investments and relationships with every single other country around the world that can benefit as well from coming and investing in our country. That includes China, Russia, the EU, and certainly the United States. But we will always favor and prioritize what's in the good interest of Venezuelan and the Venezuelan people. The first steps would certainly have to do with strengthening our institutions, which have been demolished by this system. Starting with our judicial system, and certainly with the possibility of creating a network throughout our country of cooperation and participation. And that's basically what the dream and the expectations of Venezuelan people today converge. It's not going to be easy. Because, as you mentioned, not only Venezuelan infrastructure is in ruins, and our energy sector, especially PDVSA, has been totally destroyed. It's hard to understand how, in a process of a booming of the oil prices, they managed to even destroy it, which was once one of the most competitive companies in the world. That's why we need to think it all over again. It won't be the state owning and deciding for you. It will be a robust and competent economy that will give opportunities to all.